All right, sir, we're back. I had to make a pit stop there, so this is part two. So that's where we are so far. I cleaned him up just a little bit, and if you look at the side profile, you can see that we got a good nose started there. We got the eye mounds, or excuse me, the eye sockets put in there, and you wanted to see about the eyes as well. So one of the simple ones that you can do with the tools that you have is what I call, or what was taught to me, to be a 3-dot eye. So we have our eye mount, or our eye sockets here, and what we're going to do is with the with the bridge of the nose, we're going to draw a dot, and I'm going to exaggerate this so that you can see it, and then we're going to put another dot, and then we're going to put another dot. Okay. All right. So at the bridge of the nose there, coming up through the center, we're going to start him over here. We're going to put a dot. We're going to put a dot down below him. Okay. And just go easy on the dots. I'm putting them in there a little bit darker so that you can see them. So then I'm going to come over here to the edge and draw another dot. So then what we're going to do with our knife, we're going to put the point in, and we're going to draw, or we're going to cut that line. We're going to cut this line, and we're going to cut this line. Okay, on both sides. All right, so what we're going to try to do here on the sides, so we have our 3 lines, or we have our 3 dots. We'll just put a small little line, or a light dot line, light and light colored, so that you can follow it. So over on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to try to line those guys up. So he's pretty much in the same spot as that. We'll come down here to this side. My hands are shaking, sorry about that. You can see that there's the other dot. And this far corner one over here, we're going to try to line him up all the way back over here on the side so that they look about the same. And put that dot there. So then we'll just connect our lines. All right. So that's where our eyes are going to look like. All right. So what we're going to do is take our knife, and hope my videographer is able to get this. So the point of that knife goes right there where that dot is. Go just above the dot, so that we want to carve it. We want to put that knife in there so that we get rid of those pencil lines. So he's going to go straight in there, and you're going to drop him down. All right, we're going to drop him down there so that we've got a good corner. Okay, then we'll come down here to this one, and we've got a good corner. So drop that knife tip in there so that we've got a good corner in there. All right, then turn him upside down and line those guys up. So in that corner there again, and drop him in there. Okay, we'll do the same thing up here at the top. Go to that corner and drop him in, and we're connecting those lines. Okay, so then what we're going to do is come back over here to this corner here and go just to the outside of that line, or the dot, and we're going straight in along that line that you drew. Okay. All right, then we're going to turn him up again. We're going to go to that corner and drop him in there again. And he's going to be straight in the line with the along that line there. So if we were to pull him down, you'd see that he's right on that line. Okay. So now we've got that joint, or we've got that one cut in, we've got that one cut in, we've got this one cut in, we've got this one cut in. Okay, we've got this cut in, and we've got this one cut in. Okay, so from there, you've got him lined, you've got him outlined. But what you're going to do is just barely, and again, with the tip of your knife, very sharp, all right, go in there and just score those lines. Just score that line across there, because we're going to relieve that just a little bit. Again, come across there and just score that cut line. So he's just cutting those fibers up. And then the same thing here. In that corner, bring him down, and he's there. All right. So what we're going to do is taking the knife with the point going up this way, all right, you're almost going to lay him down so that he's almost flat, all right? So you can see my point, the point of my knife almost makes the corner of that, that pencil line. Then raise him up just a little bit, all right? And we're going to do a chip cut to get rid of that corner, okay? So we're just going to start at one side, go to the other, and he pops right out. He pops right out. We'll turn him, and we'll come over here to this side, again, where it's almost flat, and then raise him up just a little bit in there, and straight across, and he comes out of there too, okay? So now that corner's out. We'll flip him around, and we'll come over here to this corner. We've already set that up where he's almost flat against the piece of wood. Raise him up just a little bit, come down, push him into that corner, and now he's out. So now you can see, by looking at it, we've got rid of all those corners, all right? So with that sharp knife again, all right, just start rounding that over just a little bit, just so we kind of get a little bit more of a rounded eye there. Then come in here where we made that little cut and just undercut it just a little bit, where we're highlighting it really. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the bottom here, and you can see there's just a little bit of relief. Now the eyeball is sitting in there. The eyeball's been relieved there. All right, so we'll go to the other side and we'll do the same thing. Again, go to that corner where that dot is and just drop him straight in there, okay? Make that corner again, go to that there, drop that knife in there so that you've got a good corner, a good angle. Come down here to this little dot, all right, set him in there, okay? Now that knife's in there pretty good. We'll come back up here the same direction from that corner there and connect those lines. So really, with that little short one, you can see I'm going corner to corner just with those, with the depth of the knife. But in a bigger one, you're using this size wood as am I, so you can see how he's lined up on that piece there. Go to that corner, but go just outside of that dot, outside of that dot there, so that it's gone when you come back and have to relieve it. Okay, so now all the corners are done all the way around, just like what we did there. So again, the same thing where he lays down, and we're going to take that little corner out of there. He pops right out of there. Then we'll come up here to this guy, and out he goes. We'll come up here to this guy where he's almost laid flat down, but raise him up just a little bit so that you get a good corner. Go corner to corner or side to side and pop that corner out. Okay, so now you have him again. All right, we're gonna relieve this so we get just a little bit of depth in it. There we go. We'll do the same thing down here. And then we'll get the same thing over on this side of where the eye is. We already popped that corner out? No, we didn't pop that corner out. There he is. He's out. Clean him up just a little bit, get rid of some of those pencil lines. There we go. So there's our eyes in there. Now, you had said before that you don't have the micro tools. This one is the Dockyard kit. You can get the either the Dockyard kit or the Flex Cut has the micro tools. This is a number 3, and what we're going to do with that is put that eyeball in there. So you can see there's the eyes. They're cut out, right? Or they're outlined for us. Now you could take that if you wanted. You can paint that. Just go in there and paint it up how you know to or you've learned to, etc. But this is going to be what's referred to as a negative eye, and we're going to come in there and we're going to, right? You can see that number 3 gets me a little bit. I think I'm going to change that over, and I might do it with a number 2 because I think that eye is just a little bit the wrong side there. Okay, so that's a 2mm, you can see. So what we're going to do is line him up in the middle. All right, line him up in the middle there, and what we're going to do is, you can see my angle there. There, you can see it now. There's about my angle. He's not going straight in. He's back at an angle, and he's right there in the center. All right, and what we're going to do is push him straight in. Okay, push him straight in there. Okay, so he's in there. He's stuck back there. All right, got a good angle, and you'll pull him back out. Now you can see the mark that it left. All right, now what we're going to do is take our detail knife again, and we're going to go from where that cut is. We're going to go in and we're going to drop that knife down to the back end of the cut and pop that guy out. Now, you see the eyeball now? That's pretty cool. That's an easy peasy way of making an eyeball like that. We'll do the other side now. Okay, still the number 2. We'll go in the middle. All right. Now, line the edges, if you can see it there. If you take the edges, the top edges, and line it up with your with the top of your the outline of your eyeball, and we're going to take that, we're going to push him straight in. Okay, he's there, and then pop him out. All right, well, he didn't come straight out, so again, we're going to take our detail knife, start at that corner, down to the depth of that cut, and pop that edge out. How does that look for you, pal? Those eyeballs right there are, we'll clean that up just a little bit. So there he is. What I did there on that, just so that you could see the depth on it. This little bottle right here, just a little spritz bottle, and what it has is 70% alcohol and water. So I mix it 50-50, and you know, it gets in. If you've got some loose cuts in there, and you need to pull that grain, because you know when the water gets into that grain, it's going to tighten it up. And then you can see it cleans him up. Okay, so that's some eyeballs. But the other thing that it does, if you're not used to it, is gets the wood softer for you to cut. When I first started, I was like, man, this wood's really difficult to cut, because I think it was my knives weren't very sharp. So once you spray it with that alcohol and water, the alcohol evaporates out of there and takes a lot of the water with it, so it dries up pretty quick, or looks like it's dried up pretty quick, and then makes the wood much softer for you to cut. So the next thing that we need here is we need some nostrils. All right, we need to have some nostrils. You look at yours and you can see either they're, you know, really exposed up high, or they just go straight back. Again, with the tools that we were looking at, that's a Drake number 7. You can see that's the width on it is number 5 is just a little bit, right at about 1/4. And what I'm going to do is, if you look at the distance here between the tip of your nose and the back wing of your nose, if you kind of go in the center there, okay, just draw a light line. Do the same thing over here on the other side, from the corner out to the tip, and get it about there in the center, and just make you a little tick mark. Then when you look at it, as you're looking at it straight on there, look at it side to side. You were concerned earlier with the having things line up. You know, is this in the right spot with this one over here? Are you about in the same spot? That sort of thing. So there's 2 different ways that you can do it. Again, I'll use the number 7, and we can cut it in by just, all right, all right, there's the flat side of the face there. We can either go in with the nose, we can go in straight, or we can kind of go back this way. If you look at people's nose, you'll see that some of the nostril flares are right up there close, or very exposed, or some of them are down up underneath the nose as opposed to being on the top of the nose. So 2 different ways that you can do it. With the gouge, you can push it straight in there, kind of get it at an angle. However it is that you're trying to, you can kind of come up on it, going in that way. Or with your knife, you can start on this side, so your knife is up underneath, all right? And what you're doing is just pivoting him so that he comes out that way. So he starts there, and you just pivot just a little bit, and without having these gouges, Marcielo, you can do it with a knife. So you can come across here and just pivot him all the way across there, taking out just a little bit of the wood to get you there. I'll do this side over here with the gouge. So with him on the line there, I'm going to go just a little bit low in there. Okay, so there's a clearly defined nostril on that side. Come over here on this side, I'll do the same thing, get him just about in the center of my line there, and I'll pop him straight back. So now you can see him clearly defined nostrils on both left and right side, okay? And he looks pretty good. On this nostril here, we don't necessarily want that real sharp line, so all your cuts are going to be in towards the center of the nose. So just with the tip there, just get rid of that real sharp line there, okay? And that rounds him out. On the other side, I flip him up. Excuse me, I flip him up that way, and I'll get rid of just that little bit of sharpness there. And that cleans that nose up. If you look at it, you've got a couple of square, harsh lines, and we're just going to get rid of those with your real sharp knife. So there's that nose, and you can get in there and you can play with that nose. You can refine it up a whole lot to get rid of some of these lines, clean it up. That's that time's on you to clean them up. Yep. So there, he's there. And if you look at him from the bottom, you can clearly see that there's a septum that's coming up through the center there. You've got the nostrils on both sides, good placing, I think. But as long as you've got a good septum there, you don't want these 2 lines here, these 2 nostrils, to be bumped right up there against the septum, so that you don't necessarily have it, or so that it's gone. And then come back up here and just clean up some of these little jagged little pieces here to there you go. So it kind of cleans him out. Now he's starting to look like something, huh? Didn't take us much time at all.